Welcome, Sue. We have Sue
Hey.
today with us from, it's called Happy, or the Ultimate Breast Care, so Happy Breast Balm. Is that correct, Sue? I've got that
Yep,
right.
that's right.
Yes.
Yep.
And we met Sue at Seven Sisters in March this year in 2020, and we had the privilege of having um, a moment where we were able to explore our breasts and give them a good massage and experiment using your product, which was amazing. So both Sean and I love using your product, and we want to bring you on today to share about your story and why you're so passionate about breast care and what has brought you here today to talk more about that with us.
Awesome. Yay.
Welcome.
Welcome, Sue.
Welcome.
We're really excited to bring your wisdom and your gifts to a greater community of women. And yeah, I think we can all benefit from this. So it's an important conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sue, your story, it's tell us a bit more about why you've developed this product and why you're so passionate about it.
Okay. Well, I guess the journey began actually when I was 13 years old and my mother died of breast cancer, which she had been battling for 4 or 5 years previously. And from that moment on, I guess the fear just drove me into being the healthiest that I could be. And so during my teenage, I was like, a vegetarian, and I was always trying to look for organic food. And I was always, I wasn't doing that then because we didn't have computers, of course, but I was reading heaps about, supplements, and I did courses in natural therapy and nutrition. And I spent my whole life just being as healthy as I could because I didn't want to go through what I'd seen my mother go through. And also my dad died of cancer as well. And I was just so determined that I was never going to get that disease. I was, most of my life I was vegan, organic. I mean, I exercise, I dance. I mean, I say what's on my mind. I thought I was doing everything right.
Yeah.
But then in 2010, I felt this lump in my boob. And I was like, what? No way. So I ignored it for the first year. I thought, it must just be a cyst or something. And then I found another lump a year later in 2011. So I thought, okay, I really should go and get this checked out. I did, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had 3 lumps, and the biggest one was 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. And yeah, well, it was like, the whole bottom just fell out of my world, everything I'd ever believed in, and all of my positivity and all of my healthful actions hadn't actually, avoided what I was trying to avoid. So then I got online, and then I thought, right, there is no way that I can do, chemotherapy just scares me. I've seen both my parents go through it, and, surgery, and I really, really wanted to do something natural to get rid of my cancer. And I started researching, and I spent the whole year doing all sorts of protocols. And I'm really happy to say that after 12 months of just going all out, like fasting and supplements and doing this and that and B17 and, using black salve and using like just about every supplement I could, I finally am cancer free, and I have been since 2012, which is 8 years, which is great. But the overwhelming thing that I realized during that time is that there is hardly anything out in the world today for natural breast care. And I'm not just talking about breast cancer here. I'm talking about any type of breast care for any type of woman at any age, because there's products and protocols for every other part of the body. We've got face creams in our hair, and we to our legs, and we do like sit-ups for our stomach, and we just go mad, to look after every other part of our body, and our poor breasts get completely ignored.
Yeah.
And so that's, again, I just became even more passionate then to actually, wake women up to the fact that we do have some power over the health of our breasts. And I have a great team of doctors and naturopaths, and I've learnt lots of stuff. I'd already made this balm for my own healing journey to help. Of course, I'd never say that it was what healed me, but it just made me put my hands on my breasts every day.
Yes.
And, dry skin brushing is proven to be effective for clearing the lymph. Massage is proven to be effective for, for blood flow and, traumatized tissue. Hands-on Reiki, TLC. So I knew all those things would help. And Yeah, so, and in the balm, I put things like Lugol's iodine and magnesium oil and Young Living and doTERRA essential oils that have all kind of been scientifically proven to kill cancer cells, clear the lymph, clear the blood, you know, nourish the breast tissue. Yeah, and so that is kind of how the whole thing came about in a nutshell. Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sue, can I ask, when you were, like you've expressed, you had this close relationship with breast cancer and breast disease, having watched your mother go through that, and you were quite absorbed in finding a way away from that. Was your level of breast care in terms of breast checking, your breast massage, how significant were you doing that in terms of massaging your breasts and doing your palpable breast checks compared to what you are now? Was there a difference? Were you quite active in and informed as to what you were looking for and how you look for it and how often? You know, because I know from my own experience, being educated by a doctor in terms of how I check for my breasts and what you can access online, it's fairly mechanical. It explains how to do it, kind of what you're feeling for.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a bit of hit and miss, because at the end of the day, you're with yourself in those kind of self-exams. And the conversations that I often have with women, and I know with myself, is that we're kind of doing it as a virtue as opposed to something that's really informed and conscious. And so I think even in the conversation today, bringing that heightened awareness and knowing of that, what we're feeling for and how we check and how often we do it, because I think that's one of the biggest medicines from coming to your workshop, is that I've never, and I've worked in the medical system as a nurse, not in breast care or oncology or anything like that, but I'm educated in health and naturopathy and now as a nutritionist. And I don't think I've ever met someone else like yourself who showed and illustrated such an in-depth, fun, self-intimate level of self-care in terms of checking the breast. Never before has it been discussed about the importance of lymphatic massage and the dry skin brushing as this real holistic ritual that we can implement in our lives. And I've been an active breast checker, active care of my breasts. The same, my mother had breast cancer and has since passed from other hormonal cancers. And so it's something that's been heightened in my awareness and consciousness too. And coming to your workshop just completely elevated my capacity to care for my breasts in a completely different way, in a completely connected,
Joyful
conscious,
way.
Joyful, beautiful way. So that's why we're just really excited to chat to you, because we've experienced and yeah, just knowing that, you know, I've had so many conversations and appointments with specialists which have their value and have been informative in their own sense, but this beautiful process that you teach and that you share is really important. So what was your practices before you had evident breast disease? You know, were you a self-proclaimed breast checker, massage?
I don't think I ever did.
You don't, yeah.
No, I just didn't. I was so confident that, you know, it's a whole body thing, and if I eat organic vegetarian food and go jogging and, you know, express myself, that would protect me. And I think maybe once or twice over the years when I had to go to the doctor for some other reason, you know, I think maybe only twice in my whole life the doctor kind of did a bit of a check.
Yes.
Yeah, but I never actually did that thing that we're supposed to do. And that's what the thing is, that often comes from fear.
Yes.
You know, you do it like, oh my God, you don't want to do it, but I should, but you don't want to do it because you're afraid that you might find a lump. And so quite often not, you don't do it. And I've spoken to dozens of women, and they've all sort of said the same thing, that they find it really scary to do it, because what if they do find a lump? And so rather just, let them be. And that's what I've really tried to bring in with the breast care routine, is that it comes from love, and it comes from self-care, not from fear. And so there's a whole different way of going about it, because, what we think, we create. And so if you're kind of, touching yourself and everything with fear, that can't be good, right? Whereas if you're just singing your little song and it's morning and you just had a lovely dry skin brush and you feel all invigorated and you get your lovely smelling balm and you just rub it into your breasts and, it's a whole different thing. It's not self-checking. It's like self-checking with stealth, coming from love. It's a paradigm shift away from fear and taboos. That's kind of what we say as our little catch line. It's a paradigm shift away from fear and taboos around breasts towards really just giving them some love,
Yes, I'm even thinking of myself before I came across this practice of yours and your balm, being in the shower like, okay, am I gonna, it's a totally different
I actually
experience.
look forward to my routine now. I'm like, bring it on. And I just feel so good about it. I have a whole new relationship with my body. I do it twice a day, so morning and night. I go and now even during the day, I'm just like, oh yeah.
I do as well. People look at me and I'm like, oh, sorry. You just find yourself, Yeah.
It's like, I'll give myself a shoulder rub here or there. I'll do down my thighs any other time. Why can't I do this as well? Okay.
Exactly. We go like this, or maybe, we've got a sore foot and we give it a good rub, and we've got to shift. We've got to move away from all that, haven't we? Really, they're just a part of our body, and so many of us wear bras these days. We don't sort of run around chasing dinosaurs, and and so there's a lot of stagnant energy that can build up in our breasts. We have a lot of sedentary jobs these days. They don't get the chance, like the lymphatic system usually moves when our muscles move. So when we're very sedentary and we wear bras, then they don't get to move. And when stagnancy builds up, that's when we have energy blockages. And that's when lymph starts to build up and, debris and toxins get to kind of build up. And so that massage and that dry skin brushing every day just helps to keep everything flowing nicely, all around our heart here, all under our arms. We have so many lymphatic vessels in our chest. So
it's very common for women premenopausal and postmenopausal to actually have cystic breasts. And it's a very common occurrence, I think, and I can speak with both Charlotte and I hope you don't mind me saying, but we have had that experience in our lives, and we kind of do feel a bit of a something that's not quite right, and go get it checked out. And it's just some cysts, and even the massaging, from getting that blood flow, getting in there, giving them a good move, circulation going, getting the lymph going, adding that with the dry skin brushing,
and the mental attitude. I find, myself, mindset coach, is that whole reconnection. I have a new reconnection with breast checking now.
Yes.
I was one of those women that had fear. I don't have breast cancer in my family. However, just hearing the stories of women in my age group who've been diagnosed with breast cancer or even older. And then, in fact, I had pain shooting through my breast because it was actually coming from my neck. But my whole focus was, oh my God, my boob. And so I'd go checking, and almost to the point every day, poking, prodding, almost trying to find something because my brain is obsessed with fear. And that cycle went on for far too long. And then eventually I took the plunge to go and have them checked. And that's when I was told, oh, cysts, you've got breast cysts, but there's nothing to worry about. And even that in itself was like, oh, why have I got cysts? Is that a normal thing as well? And then now that I have this breast balm and I use it twice a day, there's just no fear. I have no fear anymore. In fact, the pain's even gone. So I don't know what shifted there, but it's amazing.
And even for women that, have even been through a journey of cancer and had surgery and treatment, I imagine even the process of this self-care ritual in love and happiness and joy and connection to the body is still extremely beneficial. Massaging parts of the body that perhaps aren't what they were, and that in itself is of great value.
Yes, I would love to be able to put posts up. This is great for women who have had any type of breast surgery. It's such a sensitive area because of the TGA, and you can't make claims, and especially with cancer, because it's such a huge topic. But the thing is, if there's any scarring anywhere, it does interrupt with the flow of lymph and blood and just the energy. So it's even triply more important if anyone has had any surgery at all, to really massage and really brush and manually help the lymph to flow to keep things clear. It's really important. Yeah, if you've had any surgery at all, to do that. I mean, I didn't have surgery, but I used some salve which pulled out one of the big tumors. It was quite amazing. So I do have a scar, and I know myself that if I don't regularly massage and dry skin brush, I do start to feel uncomfortable in that area. So for anybody that's had any surgery, it's just, and when you hurt yourself, you just want to put your hands on it, don't you? You want to rub a nice balm into it. It's a beautiful thing for women to have if they've had any surgery.
And what about for pregnant women, or those who've had a baby, those who experience mastitis, or breastfeeding pain? Is it also beneficial for those women as well?
Well, we sort of don't recommend for it to be used if you're pregnant, because it does contain essential oils, and there just haven't been the studies to say that all of those oils are safe for pregnant women. We do, however, suggest that women do still dry skin brush, and even over the nipple a little bit, to toughen your nipples up a little bit for that gorgeous little bubba that's going to be sucking. And also just to use a plain coconut oil with perhaps some lavender or chamomile, just to kind of really, to help your breasts, especially when you give birth, because they can become very, full of milk and tight. And again, just gentle brushing and gentle massage can help. And also using transdermal magnesium oil as well if you're pregnant, because that is actually like a TGA approved pain reliever. And so it does help to soften, it does help to relieve pain. So if you're pregnant, you wouldn't use the balm, but you would still brush and you would still massage. When you're breastfeeding, it's okay to use, but again, you wouldn't use it just before you're feeding, because if you get it on your nipples, it doesn't taste very nice. It's quite bitter. Everything in the balm is sort of edible. There's nothing toxic in there. You could actually eat it if you like, but you wouldn't, because it doesn't taste very nice. So you can use it after, and of course when you finish breastfeeding, then it's really time to just reclaim your breasts, get them back into shape, because so many women tell me all the time that even just after 2 or 3 weeks of dry brushing and massage, that their breasts just feel plumper, and they start to kind of just perk back up a little bit, which is understandable when you think about what you're actually doing. You're bringing blood and lymph into your breasts, and you're clearing, and you're actually nourishing your boobs. So it's a great thing to do when you've finished your breastfeeding. Really get back into that again. We are actually going to soon be bringing out another balm for pregnant and breastfeeding women.
Oh, fantastic!
Absolutely, because it's such an important area, and we are going to do that. It's definitely on the list of things to do.
Good.
Well, when they're fulfilling their prophecies, feeding babies, they need to be cared for.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So can you talk us a little bit through the process and the medicine of dry skin brushing, and how you've paired that quite beautifully with the breast massage and the use of the oils and the balm?
Well, the lymphatic system is a major part of our immune system. It not only brings nutrients to the tissues and takes debris and toxins away, but it also, the lymph fluid contains a lot of immune enhancing cells. And so that's why I realized when I was on my journey and I wanted to really help my breasts that, by bringing lymph into the tissue and by clearing away, toxins and dead cancer cells and bacteria and all that, it's definitely an important thing to do. For our whole body health, not just our breasts. Like when you dry skin brush with the breast care routine, you don't just do your breasts, you do your whole body, because it's all joined, it's all connected. And Yeah, and again, especially in this area, you know, here and under your armpits, there's so many lymph vessels and major lymphatic centers. So, yeah,
Yeah, great.
yeah, it's really important to do the dry brushing as well as the massage for our whole body's health and immunity. Yeah.
And the ingredients in your balm, talk us through those chosen ingredients that you've got in there.
Okay, well, organic Australian hemp seed oil, because it just contains the right balance of omegas. It's a beautiful silky oil. It's very nutritious, and that with the fractionated coconut oil. The fractionated coconut oil doesn't have all of the aspects of the coconut oil, so it's very easily absorbed, and it actually helps to take other things into the skin transdermally as well. So those two oils are the carrier oils. And then there's magnesium oil. We use Amazing Oils magnesium oil from Central Australia. That's like a TGA approved pain reliever. So it's really good if you've got any sort of pain, as you were just saying, you know, when you have premenstrual tension or things like that, or other hormonal imbalance or cysts, fibrocystic breasts. It can actually help relieve pain, and it really goes in, like it's been scientifically proven that magnesium is better absorbed through the skin, through our digestion. Lugol's iodine, there are so many studies out there to show that most women in Australia, but most parts of the world actually, are quite deficient in iodine. And iodine is needed for our thyroid glands to make the right balance of hormones. Because often fibrocystic and sore and painful breasts happen because our hormones are a bit out of whack. And we've just had dozens and dozens, like hundreds of women tell us that after using the balm, and sometimes supplementing with iodine as well, that their cysts have either vanished or just shrunk, or their fibrocystic breasts are just greatly relieved. So that's in there as well. So there's magnesium, iodine, and then there's 10 essential oils, as I was saying, from doTERRA and Young Living, which are therapeutic grade. And they're just wonderful. I don't know if you know those oils, but they're quite magical. They're, you know, I've smelt just about every other brand of oil there is in the world, and those ones, as far as I'm concerned, are just a cut above the rest. So yeah, there's lemongrass and lemon and grapefruit, because the citruses contain limonene, and limonene is a very, very known anti-cancer substance. There's frankincense, this beautiful sacred frankincense oil. There's thyme. There's myrtle, which is like a pine, which also has a lot of studies saying that, you know, it kills cancer cells. There's also peppermint, and what have I forgotten? Ylang-ylang, because and cinnamon, just a very small amount of cinnamon. And all of those oils combined, that's what gives it that lovely aroma. Because, you know, aroma isn't just a physical thing either. It goes into your, you know, olfactory gland, and it just really kind of uplifts the whole mind.
I think recipe too is part of the uplifting, other than it being quite a positive experience, the ritual of breast massage and the dry skin brushing, but the scent and the oils, very uplifting and very kind of inspiring and motivating scent. You know, it's quite
uplifting and empowering and all those
it's beautiful
things.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of magic going on in there, for sure.
Imagine you in your space, you know, when you were developing
alchemy.
when you were developing this,
that's right,
trialing this and trialing that. How long did it take you to come up with your end product, you know, when you were experimenting?
Well, when I first developed it, when I was on my healing journey, I just used to get coconut and hemp and iodine and magnesium. And then, you know, every time I found a new oil that had been scientifically proven to, you know, be good for breast health, I added that. But the actual balm, I think that was first released in 2015. But for the previous year, I was literally I had hundreds of different oils and all sorts of different, you know, bottles, and I'd leave them for a month and then 6 months and smell them, and it was quite a process. And I did consult as well with my team of naturopaths and other people, and I did the course with Robert Tisserand, who is like the grandfather of aromatherapy, and had a consultation with him, because I really wanted to make sure that everything was just perfect and nothing was like estrogen, you know, wasn't going to boost your estrogen, because we know we don't want that sometimes, so I really sort of did as much as I could in my power to make sure that the oils in there are just perfect for breast health.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Now, privilege of being in your presence and being guided by you through the process of massage and dry skin brushing. So for anyone that's watching this interview today, how can they tap into this process with your information and your guidance? You've got a lot of resources that we can share.
Yep. We're getting more all the time. So when you get your kit, you get the little booklet which explains everything step by step. And we also have some videos on Instagram and Facebook which just sort of go through the process. And I do hope to be getting out and about again more and doing some more workshops when all this, COVID stuff is over, because as I don't know about you, but I learn better by watching, and it's so much it's just great to be in front of people and to be actually doing it, and for them to be joining in and hands-on as well. Yeah,
it's a very powerful workshop as a participant, to be in the space of breasts, for those that were comfortable to have their breasts out, and to normalize this as a loving...
I found it a beautiful experience that, in fact, all as women, we were able to be exposed, and, we just glance at each other and enjoy our own intimate moment in our breasts. And then it was a collective. It was really quite empowering.
Yeah, and women of all shapes and sizes, all different stories, were there for all of their own reasons.
It was a real body love experience, wasn't it? And to appreciate being a woman as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We both did your workshop, and then we were straight to the tent to purchase our kit, and I think we've got one behind us.
Yeah, there we go.
That.
Awesome.
Fabulous here.
Oh, I've got one here too, but mine, you've used yours, you see, but this is
a little bit,
That's right. A bit wonky. Yeah, that's right. And of course, part of it is what you think, and so we have this beautiful massage mantra as well.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if you say something to yourself over and over, that's kind of how you create your life, isn't it? Like in the beginning was the word. I mean, like what we think and then what we say changes the world forever after. And the tones we use, like when you say something, it's out there and it's out there. So every day while you're, practicing your self-love, just to have a little song that you sing or a mantra that you repeat. And if you do that regularly, it does actually have an effect on your life, right? So, that's why we always bring joy in the form of singing. Did you join in the songs when we had our little call and response songs and everything? Yeah. And that's why it's good in the booklet. You can just put the booklet in your bathroom, and you can think or just say the mantra just to reaffirm your health and well-being, the gratitude for life. Just sets you off on a good footing to go off for the day. Yeah.
And this is why we really, resonated with us, because it was such a holistic experience. It wasn't just about this mechanical, let's learn how to properly assess and connect with the status and health of our breasts. It was this whole ritual
of mind, body, and spirit. I felt it was a real connection.
Yeah. And we thank you for believing in this as an important element in women's health. And like you said, you saw a gap in education and in products where, for whatever reason it is, we brush our teeth, we look after our hair.
Yeah, right.
The other part
we
of our
go
body.
Get our nails and our,
Exactly.
wax the bikini line. What about the poor old breasts?
And they do so much. They give so much. And
particularly
there's a lot of dialogue and education about breast disease and cancer and the prevalence, and that's for us to be aware of. But yet, connecting into our own empowerment of our own health outcomes is, it's a magic process that you're sharing. So
thank you.
It is. Yeah, because I think most women. Well, I've read various statistics, but between 70 and 90% of women experience some sort of breast health issues in their life. And it's like there's nothing that you can just go to. You go into a health food shop, there isn't even a category or a shelf, or you look in a catalogue, there's not even a section. There's hair and teeth and ears and eyes and feet. And it's just phenomenal. It's just gobsmacking, isn't it, that there is this massive gaping hole where breast care should be. And women are so conscious about their breasts, you know, are they too big or are they too small, or
Yes.
you know, I wish they were more this, but there's nothing to kind of engage and you know, yeah.
Well, when we check our breasts, you know, it's taught in such a clinical kind of fear-based instruction, and you know, I suppose we're conditioned in a sense culturally, you know, and in this time that the touch to the breast is a sexualized notion, and you know, taking that out of it and bringing that into a level of self-care and love and joy.
Perfect,
and being able to, you know, I know even for myself that my awareness of when I'm doing my breast massage, in the past I was particularly only doing it to look for abnormalities, whereas now the routine is more about keeping my breasts healthy. It's
and happy.
And it's getting the circulation, and it's getting them moving, and it's kneading them and being quite thorough all around my lymph. And the process now is completely different to me checking analytically for abnormalities. It's just such different. It's a polarity change, actually.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming in from a whole other direction. Just, you know, one of self-love, not fear. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so where to next, Sue? What's next for you on this journey? You've got another product coming out for women pregnant. Have you got any other ideas or things that you're wanting to bring forward for your work in the future?
Well, I guess I'd love to think that, you know, in a few years' time that you walk into any health food shop in the world and there's a breast care section. Whether not that it's not necessarily just this, but that, you know, it inspires a whole other category to open up. And so women have a choice, because, you know, we're all at different stages of life and we have different tastes about aroma or texture. And so that is definitely part of my vision. And like you said, to come away from the fear, because fear brings more fear. I mean, fear doesn't breed love, you know, and so I mean, that's my overall vision, really, you know, and just to get it out there, to be all over the world, to have women just, like you said, they've got to, you know, they're feeling a bit sore in the boobs, just go like that, you know, and just give them a bit of a rub like you would with your neck, and just to take away all of the taboos away, really. Yeah. It's a huge, massive vision, one step at a time, definitely.
Well, you're paving the path, and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
We hope and trust that this reaches into the laps and to the breasts of the women that need to hear this, to up the ante with their self-connection and self-care and care for their breasts, and to start a new process of their relationship with their breasts. And it's not just about looking for the problems. It's
looking for lumps.
It's promoting health and their well-being, and that's a big shift, and that we empower and encourage and inspire in our communities of women. So
So it's so lovely to give your partner a beautiful breast massage as well, you know. It's, you know, it's not just for women as well. I mean, you know, your loving partner can give you a breast massage. It's just beautiful. And I'd really like to do some workshops in that as well, you know, just kind of opening that area up. And also men can use it as well. I mean, a lot of men use it around their prostate and around their groin. Another area of, you know, lots of lymphatic action and centers, and also men have, you know, a lot of prostate problems these days as they get older. So again, for men to dry skin brush and for men to apply the balm is just gorgeous as well.
So it's for everybody.
So let's direct women to you've got a website and you're on social. So what's your website?
It's breastbalm.com.
Easy to remember.
And we have Instagram and Facebook, and that's Happy Breast Balm.
And so any woman that's watching this, or any man that's interested, can click on there. They can also see some more videos and material and resources to assist us in the process of of lymphatic brushing and the massage. It's a real palpable, get in there, knead them, move, get the circulation going. But at the end of the day, the process is also organic. So don't be afraid to get in there and do it without thinking I'm not doing it right.
Exactly. You can't do it wrong, really.
Use your intuition. And I know even my own awareness is that I just feel that I'm able to, it's almost like the intellect has been removed from that process, and I'm much more intuitive in my own experience, because I'm not checking mechanically for problems. I'm there, my hands are on. I feel quite sensitive in my palms. I can actually feel much more in the palm of my hand when I'm kind of getting right in there with a really good massage. And also modelling that. You know, I've got a teenage daughter, I've got a teenage daughter and a younger daughter, and, you know, modelling those self-care practices too are really important.
Absolutely.
Normalising this as part and parcel of our, you know, the way that we care and look after ourselves and for our well-being. So
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people aren't very good at reading instructions. With the dry skin brushing, you start at the extremities and you work into your heart area.
Yes.
Light flowing brushes, and with breast massage, like you said, just use your intuition. You know, pump and pummel, and you know, round and up and down, and just like kneading bread.
Yeah, nice.
Really, just get in there, and you know, really just get in there. Yeah, use your intuition. That's the one.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Sue. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us before we close today? We do thank you for joining us, and we know that you're very busy. You've got a lot of projects on the go.
True, that's true. Yeah, well, I'd love to thank you very much. I'm so excited that you're excited about Breast Balm, and you know, hearing your feedback about the workshop and about the product just fills my heart with joy. I'm just so excited, and I'm stoked that we've made contact, and and for anybody out there, I just wish you all the best and lots of love, and yes, just love your boobs, absolutely. They're just beautiful things. They're part of our body. Love them. Yes.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And Sue has gifted us a couple of these packs to give away to our viewers, so we'll give you some details on that later. Thank you again, Sue. We'll let you get back to your busy day creating some wonderful more products for us.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.